Hey guys, we're back. And this time we're taking a look at another Wave 3 expansion for the World of Tanks miniatures game. This time around we're on the German Panzer III, and it has a huge long actual name, but just refer to it as a Panzer III. But we're going to get right in and take a look. As with all the other expansions, inside of this tells you how to redeem the code to get some free stuff in the video game if you play. If you're new or an existing player, there's a little card on the bottom of here. It comes with some codes, and they will get you some free stuff, so check that out. Onto our vehicle card here, you can see our extremely long name for the Panzer III. We have a Tier 4 medium tank for 30 points, 3 firepower, 0 survivability, 3 mobility, 8 initiative, 4 hit points. You have a commander, gunner, driver, radio operator, and a loader in there, so I think that's a full crew complement. The 8 initiative is really awesome, so you're going to be top of the chain on that unless somebody's got some modified stuff out there. I don't think any other tank has higher than an 8. Firepower is pretty average at 3. 3 to 4 seems to be the standard, especially for medium tanks. 0 survivability is on the low end for a medium tank, but understandable. It is a fast tank, so the 3 mobility is really going to help you. If you're moving 3 a turn, your survivability goes up 1 for each of your movements, so kind of averages out. Well, you get the defense die if your survivability doesn't actually go up, but you know what I mean. On the flip side, we have our history of the tank down here, as well as the medium tank ability up here. When shooting, this tank can re-roll a blank attack die. So for our equipment cards, we've got a 3.7 centimeter, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's a gun module, German only for 2 points. Can only be used on the Panzer III. It gives you +2 initiative. So everything else on the tank stays the same, but you gain +2 initiative, puts you up to a 10 initiative, which is just crazy. And just an interesting, it leads to all different interesting options that you can build around that with a 10 initiative. Granted, it still leaves you with only a 3 firepower, which is kind of lacking, at least to me. I like big guns. So in that respect, you also have another gun module here, the 5 centimeter, and this one costs 4 points. Again, German only, can only be on the Panzer III. Gives you +1 attack, so that's going to boost you for 4 points. It's going to boost you up to an attack value of 4. I think with the 8 initiative already, having the 1 extra firepower, to me, is better than the 2 extra initiative. Depends on what other tanks are in your platoon as well. If you're using this as a fast scout to basically get in or flank, and you have other heavy hitters, then maybe it's not so important. But just looking at them the way they are, that's my thought on it. For crew upgrades, we have a basic gunner, Deadeye here, for 5 points. It allows you to draw 2 critical cards for the first critical scored by this tank each turn. When the shooting player then chooses which of these 2 to apply, and the other one gets discarded. So whenever you hit somebody with a crit, you're going to be drawing 2 critical cards and picking whatever one you think is worst or better for the situation you're in. Next we have Preventive Maintenance, which is a basic crew driver for 5 points. When defending, this tank can modify a success into a crit. Allows you to take one of your successful defense rolls, turn it into a crit so you can block an incoming crit. Or at least have the choice of it. Not bad overall. And then finally we have a unique commander, Albrecht Dahl. I'm sure I said that wrong. It's German only, 9 points. And he has concealment, which gives you +1 survivability when in cover, as well as recon, which gives you +1 initiative during the movement phase. And at the start of the game, immediately after deployment, this tank can make up to 2 moves. That kind of reminds me of the old Blitzkrieg maneuver that the Germans had in the previous version of the game, or something similar, but that's pretty much, I think, what it's supposed to represent as well. So I like it. Definitely interesting. 9 points is a bit steep, but you're gaining 2 useful abilities, and I like this extra move at the beginning of the game too. allows you to reposition. If you position yourself in a situation, then somebody deploys after you, and you can counter that basically. Plus it allows you to get closer to an objective too, if that's one of the options. So there's a look at everything that comes in the Panzer III expansion. I will say that looking more into the upgrades now, they definitely have this built around being a scout vehicle, which makes more sense now to put the smaller gun on and get the bonus to initiative. You can bump yourself up to a 10 initiative, 11 initiative during the movement phase using the commander guy here. Plus you get that extra move at the beginning of the game. Plus you get 3 movement normally for your mobility. This thing can really jump around the battlefield, get to where it needs to be. It's a great for take and hold missions or objective missions where you need to get within a certain range of a objective. The downside is you don't have a lot of staying power or firepower to defend that position once you get there. But getting there early and holding the line till your other tanks can come reinforce you is definitely the plan built around this tank. Having the option of the 5cm gun in there does give you a chance to make this more into a combat-ready vehicle. 3 attack is not too bad. I mean, like I said in the beginning, it's pretty average. 4 is even still kind of average with the bigger gun. So you're not going to be winning any head-to-head fights with that, but strategic positioning, use of your mobility, and the high initiative to shoot first, ask questions later, should get you at least the task accomplished that you're setting it to. I think overall I prefer the Panzer IV over the Panzer III, but it has a lot more versatility. It also costs more points, so you're getting a balance there as well. So it's worth keeping that in mind. Definitely worth an addition to a German platoon, just to have one in there though, I think, as a useful scout vehicle. Overall though, not a bad medium tank, and definitely as a lighter medium, I could see it definitely being more as a role of a light tank filling, but with medium stats. And I almost totally forgot to show the model there. It is a smaller tank. The wheelbase on these, though, the track base, isn't that short, so I don't know if they just made like a generic scale of these, or if this is actually to scale. I thought they were a little bit smaller than this, but not a bad little tank, stubby little gun on there. Turret doesn't want to come off, but they prime these so they have a little resistance to them until you break them in a little bit. This isn't just dry plastic, there actually is a textured primer on there, but not a bad little tank. Well, that's going to wrap it up for our look at the Wave 3 expansion for the Panzer III for the World of Tanks miniatures game. Hope my thoughts help you decide if it's something worth adding to your own platoon. No matter what, as always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.